Hey everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today's video is presented by EA Game Changers. Today we'll teach everything Valkyrie. We're going to do a deep dive guide as a beginner and how to utilize her as a pro. She has a damage, in-save movement potential, utility for tournaments, and now the best tool for rotation as a team in the game. I mean, is she overpowered? Only time will tell. Let us take over the skies and dominate with her passive ability, her jetpack. When you press space, trigger, or the button you have jump bound to, this will initiate her jetpack. When you start this jetpack initially, it is set to toggle. If you prefer, you can have this on hold. You can change this setting in the main menu. You can still wall bounce and bunny hop, but the timing is a bit harder. Means you can't really spam too hard or else you'll accidentally pop her jetpack. Showcasing a quick example now. Her jetpack when going up is much higher than Horizon's tactical ability and goes up around the same speed, if not just a little faster. The downside is that Valkyrie cannot shoot while her jetpack is being utilized. The only time you can pull out your weapon is when you're falling and removing the jetpack, or her tactical ability, which will break down in just a moment. You can hold the trigger or right mouse click to change flight mode to no longer propel up, but also in a horizontal direction. This jetpack gets utilized in approximately 7.5 seconds when in the air. Once you utilize your full jetpack, it takes quite a bit of time before you start to refuel. You need to be boots on the ground before it starts refueling, and that takes about 4 seconds out of combat before it starts. And it's a total of 11 seconds until it's completely full. Now that we understand the basics, now we can really maximize on this movement potential. Well, the biggest use was feathering the movement to create a type of bunny hop while in the air. The upside is that you're not just moving in a straight line. You can tap strafe this. Might take a little bit more time to really maximize on it. I even had a friend Chickaman to replicate this on controller, and you can easily propel yourself forward if you time it well. You can move forward, tap your jetpack, and keep spamming to move in the forward momentum you want to move towards. This is what I've showcased on screen and also at the start of the video. The downside, when you spam your jetpack, it usually eats away more fuel, making it harder to really break down this mechanic. So that really is a downside, but it's enough when in the heat of the moment to provide the extra mobility that you need to get away. Utilize this sparingly and realize that if in the air there is a potential for someone else to see you. The jetpack is quite loud and can easily be picked up by nearby enemies. We tested this, and if you're too high in the air, you really can't hear her. But in the heat of chasing Valkyrie, she's using her jetpack and it really is quite loud. So be mindful if you're trying to rat and play for placement. Alright, so that's quite a bit of information. She has so much going for her already, so let's continue breaking down more of her mechanics. Let's discuss the type of legend that she is. Meaning in a tournament, she can scan beacons, find out the next zone. Most teams always need someone who can hit the beacon. Your options are Pathfinder, Crypto, Bloodhound, and now Valkyrie. So everyone has been asking, is she going to be a top contender? Most really believe so. Some say she's underwhelming, but Respawn has done a solid job balancing her with how much time you can utilize her jetpack. Now let us discuss her next ability, her Missile Swarm. This is her tactical ability where she fires mini rockets that can stun your enemy like an arc star. Her rockets do 25 damage per hit, and there's some splash damage potential here. The rockets can splash effect off nearby enemies if you're running into a straight line through them. She shoots a total of 12 rockets, all in a line, 4 rows of 3. Now when you utilize her rockets, you can use them while in her jetpack, zipline, or from the ground. Now when she utilizes her tactical ability while flying, this does a stall in the air. One thing you can do, and unsure if this is intentional, is you can do the following. More of an advanced technique if you will, but it's not too hard to pull off. Chickaman actually found this when we were testing it, so we're going to call this the chicken's flutter. You pop her jetpack, use her tactical but hold it. Do not fire the rockets, and now you're in the air, and notice how her jet fuel is not being utilized as much when you were using her omnidirectional flight from before. What is interesting is when you pull this off and fire her tactical ability, it sometimes only shoots 3 rockets. Then they get the timer, it resets automatically for you almost. This is kind of hit or miss. Sometimes the timer's higher, sometimes lower. This could be a bit of a bug, but it's just good to know, and just in case somebody happens to be flying around. But overall, a very strong ability and really rivals other legends such as Bangalore's ultimate. Speaking of ultimate, let's break down her ultimate ability, Skyward Dive, the best rotational tool in the game. This allows Valkyrie to take 2 teammates with her. So quick 2 notes. 1, if you cancel her animation, it goes right back to 75% and cannot pop right away. 2, if she takes any sort of damage, a punch or gun damage, her ultimate resets as well back to the 75%. Her ultimate acts as a redeploy and fires you and your teammates into the air. Now the biggest thing is to make sure there's no geometry in the way, or else you're going to get caught out and glitch and potentially die underneath the map. Had this accidentally happen, and I'm sharing because you don't want to accidentally eliminate your fellow teammates. Now when you're in the air, there are some enemies in the area. Just like whenever you're launching at the start of the round, you're going to notice that it'll scan enemies. This does not act as a wall hack, just points out enemies who are in view. There's not much outside of that. It's a very straightforward ultimate. It's such a cool animation. If you want to traverse the map, well, she's going to be the best to do it. Let's discuss a brief summary of her synergy with various legends. Some are very straightforward, but we'll break them down regardless. For rotation, she supports the best that lack mobility or cover. Essentially, a get out of jail free card. For Wattson, Lifeline, Fuse, Mirage, and Rampart, her ultimate provides the ultimate ability to get in and out of a fight relatively quickly. Valkyrie's tactical does well with any legend who does damage, specifically with Fuse, Caustic, Gibraltar, or Bangalore in the event of her ultimate. With her tactical, it's nice to really double up on that damage, so be pretty smart how you pair that up together. Then for increased mobility, pair her with Pathfinder, Wraith, Octane, Horizon, or really anybody who can traverse the map. I mean, you seriously get some ground on the map. You can go from one side, use her ultimate, jump pad, then pop a zip line, and then you've pretty much covered most of the map, especially when you're on a smaller map like Kings Canyon. When pairing for info, getting paired with Crypto or Bloodhound can provide so much intel. You're grabbing every scan in the game, which is extremely powerful. That really does cover a mass majority for Valkyrie. I really love to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below. I really hope this video was able to really teach you how to maximize on her potential and really go into some advanced techniques with her. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys all next time.